How's it going, peeps? It is that time for the Hell in a Cell 2013 results / highlights and review video. I'll go over the results, some of the highlights in my opinion, and give you guys my thoughts, my review on the show. So, of course, the show starts off with the kickoff, and the panel this time was Josh Matthews, Dolph Ziggler, Caitlyn, R-Truth, and yeah, I think that's it. And then eventually Big E Langston joined them too. Or actually, I think maybe he might have joined them from the beginning. I'm not sure. Anyways, so they promote the matchups, hype the World Heavyweight Championship match, WWE Championship match, and then there's an interview with the Shields where they talk about the Triple Threat Tag Team Championship matchup, and pretty much they're pissed off that the Usos are getting this matchup too, this rematch. Or not rematch, sorry, but this title shots along with the Shield, when the Shield should be the ones getting this matchup because they were the former champions, so they're entitled to a rematch clause. And then in the end they say it doesn't matter because they always have the edge. And then Big E Langston, who's on the Superstar panel now, he tells Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, isn't the reason why you guys always have the edge or the advantage because of Ambrose? Because you always make it a 3-on-2 or 3-on-1 situation. And then Dean Ambrose kind of takes offense to that. He calls Big E Langston a rookie. And then Big E Langston challenges Ambrose, tells him to put that United States Championship up on the line tonight. And Ambrose says no. And then Big E Langston pretty much, he tries to convince him, tells him, come on, you said I was a rookie, so what do you have to fear? So eventually Ambrose, caves in and decides to, alright, accept the challenge, and we have a United States Championship matchup between Big E Langston and Dean Ambrose. And then after that, it was the kickoff matchup. Damien Sandow versus Kofi Kingston. It was actually a pretty good matchup. I did enjoy the matchup. It was a pretty action-packed, like right from the beginning. Kofi Kingston, right from the beginning, started doing some high-flying moves. Like it was pressed for time or something. Maybe he was, I don't know. But, anyways, good matchup. In the end, Damien Sandow hits the full Nelson Slam for the victory. Kofi Kingston did hit Trouble in Paradise. I'm sorry, not Trouble in Paradise, but the boom drop. And then he tried to go for Trouble in Paradise, but Damien Sandow did not allow that to happen. And like I said, he hits the full Nelson Slam, covers him, wins the matchup. And also before the match, Damien Sandow cut a promo similar to his Battleground promo, where he said he was going to be watching closely tonight in the Hell in a Cell, the World Heavyweight Championship matchup between John Cena and Del Rio. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to mention, The Miz backstage approached Vicky, and he wanted a match with Bray Wyatt because of what the Wyatt family did to him. And Vicky Guerrero says she can't do that, he's not medically cleared, so The Miz says, alright, then we're gonna have a fight tonight. He leaves, and then Vicky's all like, excuse me, what do you mean a fight? But, The Miz already left. And also, they had a poll on the kickoff asking the fans, who is Mr. Hell in a Cell? The choices were The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Mick Foley, and Randy. I believe those were all the choices. I think so. And the winning option, the winning choice was, try and guess it. I'll give you a couple seconds. The Undertaker. So yeah, Undertaker won the poll. And he won it by a large percentage. He got like 81%, I think, and everybody else got like 6%, 3%, whatever. And after that, it was the actual show, and it kicked off with the Triple Threat Tag Team matchup, which I was looking forward to, and it delivered. That was an awesome Triple Threat Tag Team matchup. Great match with a lot of cool spots. At some point in the matchup, one of the highlights of the match, Cody Rhodes went up top, along with Seth Rollins on the top turnbuckle. He was going for a superplex, and on the outside was like everybody else, the Usos, the Shield, Goldust, and he superplexed Seth Rollins on top of everybody else on the outside. So that was a pretty cool spot. And also at some point you had Cody Rhodes, and that was right after the superplex spot. Cody Rhodes put Seth Rollins back in the ring. He covered Seth Rollins. One of the Usos climbed up the top turnbuckle and hit the top rope body splash on Cody to break the pin. And then another Uso got in the ring, and Roman Reigns speared him. It was a 6 spear too. And also Cody went for the disaster kick on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins countered that into a powerbomb. I believe he tried to hit the powerbomb, but Cody Rhodes got out of it. And then Goldust hit Seth Rollins with the uppercut to the throat. And Cody followed that up with a crossroads for the 1-2-3. So Cody and Goldust retain. And when they made their entrance, they were back to the theme song they used on Raw, the mix between Goldust and Cody's theme song. Anyways, after that, it was The Miz coming out for, I guess, fighting Bray Wyatt. He comes out, he calls out Bray Wyatt, and then the lights turn off, and you see Bray Wyatt in his chair. He's singing something, and then all of a sudden, when the lights come back on, Eric and Luke Harper are inside the ring, and they're beating up The Miz. And then, after a while of them beating him up, the fans, right off the bat, I think were chanting, "We want Kane, we want Kane," and then bam, the pyros go off, and Kane comes out, Kane returns. He takes out both Luke and Eric Harper. They bail, they get out of the way. And then he's in the ring, and The Miz is in the ring, and he chokeslams The Miz, then sets off his pyro, and that was it. So Kane is back. Following that was actually an unannounced match of Fandango and Summer Rae versus Khali and Natalya, and I believe this is Summer Rae's first matchup on pay-per-view. Well, yeah, it's definitely her first matchup on pay-per-view, but I mean on WWE. So anyways, actually Summer Rae picked up the victory in this matchup. You had Natalya in the end. She went for, well, first off, Khali was the legal man, and Fandango too, but then Fandango all of a sudden tagged in Summer Rae. And Khali didn't know what to do. And then all of a sudden, Natalya comes in and takes down Summer Rae. Eventually, she goes for the sharpshooter, but Summer Rae counters that and rolls up Natalya for the 1-2-3 and wins the matchup for her team. And then her and Fandango get out of there as soon as possible. And so yeah, Summer Rae wins her debut, and Fandango wins this matchup. Afterwards, it was the United States Championship matchup, Dean Ambrose versus Big E Langston. And right in the beginning of the matchup, Ambrose slaps Big E Langston, and Big E Langston replies to that with a clothesline. Thing is, though, they were like face-to-face in the beginning, so not much distance for Big E Langston to hit that clothesline, so it was a pretty crappy clothesline, but, what are you going to do when there's not much distance between the two? So anyways, it's the clothesline. Anyways, towards the end, Big E Langston starts picking up momentum. Looks like he's about to win the matchup. But Dean Ambrose, actually, in the middle of the match, Dean Ambrose tried to get out of there and just leave, get himself counted out. But Big E Langston grabbed him and put him back in. And at some point in the match, Big E Langston got busted open. He went, and it was when he went for his, signature clothesline, he bumped heads with Dean Ambrose, and it looked like Dean Ambrose hit Big E Langston like right under the eye, jaw first. So Dean Ambrose's jaw like hit Big E Langston like right under the eye, and I think that's what busted open Big E Langston. They even replayed it. And also another spot in the matchup, you had Dean Ambrose on the apron, and Big E Langston charged him with a running tackle, pretty much the same move you see in WWE13 when somebody's on the apron and you do a running grapple. And so he hits that, and they both get sent to the outside, both fall on the outside. In the end, Dean Ambrose just gets out of the way and tries to get himself counted out once again, and he does. But then Big E Langston grabs him after he gets counted out and puts him back in the ring. Dean Ambrose was still like holding the championship in his hand, and while he's still holding it, Big E Langston hits Dean Ambrose with the big ending and then poses with the United States Championship. And then the following matchup was the first Hell in a Cell match, CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman. This one was what happened in the beginning, or what happened for the entire matchup, wasn't really expected, where Ryback, CM Punk made his entrance first, and then Ryback, and then we were waiting for Paul Heyman for a while, and then Paul Heyman appears in like this sort of vehicle for construction purposes or whatever. I'm assuming they use it to like get up to work on the stage, set up the stage, and somebody's driving that, and Paul Heyman's in there, and whoever's driving it or handling it seems to not really know how to do it well or whatever, because it took a while for Paul Heyman to get to, or close to the cell. Paul Heyman did not enter the cell at all in the matchup, before the matchup, or at any point. He cut a short little promo, and then they used that vehicle to propel CM Punk, not CM Punk, I mean, that vehicle to like rise to the top of the Hell in a Cell, and then Paul Heyman pretty much went on top of the Hell in a Cell and was watching the entire matchup, while Ryback and CM Punk were locked inside the cell. CM Punk and Ryback were, went back and forth in the matchup. It was a decent match. I'd say maybe, I don't necessarily remember how it went last year, but I think this was a little bit better. You had Ryback, at some point Ryback, they took out a table. CM Punk took it out, actually, and he was about to sit up, but Ryback attacked him, and so the table wasn't set up, it was like on its side, angled, or whatever, and Ryback grabbed CM Punk. I thought he was going to hit a back suplex onto the table, but actually, he put CM Punk crotch first onto the table. That looked like it hurt. And soon after, a little bit afterwards, CM Punk takes out Ryback, puts him onto the table, and then hits the top rope elbow on Ryback, follows that up with the go to sleep, covers Ryback, wins the matchup. And then he looks up top at Paul Heyman, and he tells Paul Heyman, "Where are you going to go?" And then he grabs the cane. And he actually put the Singapore cane, which he used in the matchup, and he actually put it, in his trunks from the back, so he could climb up the cell. And he climbed up the cell. Paul Heyman was all panicking, and he's got the kendo stick. He's up top now with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has nowhere to go, and Paul Heyman's panicking, and CM Punk grabs him, and then he starts beating him up with the kendo stick. Like he hits him, I don't know, 10 times or something like that, or more on the back. And then he does his go-to-sleep taunts, hits the go-to-sleep on Paul Heyman, and then celebrates as his theme song hits. So CM Punk finally got his hands on Paul Heyman. And I predicted it. Then Renee Young backstage was interviewing Daniel Bryan, who said this year, this arena is where the yes chant started. And he says he's going to reward everybody who supported him tonight by winning the WWE Championship. Following that was Los Matadores versus Antonio Cesaro and Jack Swagger, the Real Americans. And Los Matadores won the matchup. And also during the match, Antonio Cesaro hit the big swing on either Diego or Fernando, one of the Los Matadores, and it was a long big swing, maybe the longest one yet. He went for the cover afterwards, but the other Los Matadores interrupted the pin. Like I said, in the end, Los Matadores pick up the victory. After the match, El Torito, he took down Antonio Cesaro with a Hurricane Rana, and then he hit a gore on Zeb Coulter. Well, pretty much he just took out Zeb Coulter out of the ring by just charging him with a headbutt. And then it was time for the World Heavyweight Championship matchup. Del Rio defending the title against a returning John Cena. And it was a pretty good matchup, actually. Great match. You had Del Rio working on John Cena's arm a lot. He went for the cross arm breaker, but when he had the cross arm breaker locked on, actually, he didn't really have it locked on. I don't think he did have it fully locked on. John Cena had a padding like on his arm, and Del Rio was trying to remove that. And John Cena ends up powering out of the cross arm breaker by picking up Del Rio and hitting a powerbomb on him. And then in the end of the matchup, by the way, John Cena hit a crossbody, and he also hit a tornado DDT in the matchup. I don't think I've ever seen John Cena hit a tornado. Oh, actually, we might have seen that. I'm not sure. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, in the end, Del Rio goes for the cross arm breaker. John Cena counters it, and then hits the attitude adjustment out of nowhere on Del Rio, covers him, and wins the matchup. He did lock on the SCF in the match, but Del Rio got like his fingertips on the ropes to break it. But yeah, John Cena wins with the attitude adjustment and then celebrates with the World Heavyweight Championship, and he tells JBL, who's on commentary, you were wrong. Because, JBL on commentary the past couple of weeks has been saying that John Cena is probably coming back not at 100%. And also, something interesting, during the matchup, Damien Sandow was actually watching backstage on a monitor, but he didn't end up cashing in. So, afterwards, it was the Divas Championship matchup, AJ Lee versus Brie Bella. And in this matchup, Tamina Snuka did interfere, or try to interfere. She got on the apron towards the end, but Nikki Bella took her down, so she fell like face first on the apron. And then a few seconds later, Brie Bella charged AJ. AJ got out of the way, and at that point, Nikki was like on the apron, so she knocked down Nikki. And then AJ took advantage of that. She locked on the Black Widow on Brie Bella. Brie Bella ends up tapping out, so AJ retains her championship. And then backstage, you had the primetime players playing WWE 2K14. They were playing as the primetime players versus the Real Americans. And Bob Backlund comes up to them, and pretty much it was like a backstage segment to promote the game. And then backstage, you saw Shawn Michaels and Triple H talking. This time it seemed serious, because they were actually talking beforehand backstage, and they were laughing. This time, though, no laughing. And HBK was in his referee outfit. So, then they showed the video package hyping the matchup, the main event for the WWE Championship inside Hell in a Cell. Shawn Michaels comes out first, and then Randy comes out, and then finally Daniel Bryan comes out. And then also Triple H comes out, and he comes out with the championship. He goes in the ring, he offers a handshake to Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan doesn't shake his hand. And then, the cell gets lowered, and the match starts. Now, when it comes to this matchup, surprisingly, there was no RKO. Randy did not hit a single RKO. And Daniel Bryan, well, he did lock on the yes lock, but Randy got out of it, I think like twice or something like that. Anyways, a few spots in the matchup. At some point, you had Daniel Bryan going for Randy was on the outside of the ring. Daniel Bryan went for the suicide dive. First time, nails it. Randy Orton hits the back of his head onto the cell. First time. Second time, same thing. Third time, though, Randy gets out of the way and shoves Daniel Bryan like head first onto the cell. And then another point in the matchup, they brought in the steel chairs. And Daniel Bryan was just hitting Randy like over and over again with the steel chair on the outside of the ring. And then all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan, he takes that steel chair, puts it in the ring. He goes under the ring, grabs another steel chair, and another one. I don't know, like 12 steel chairs or something like that. I think JBL said 12. So a bunch of steel chairs in the ring. He goes back in the ring with Randy. And he goes to hit Randy one more time with the steel chair, but Randy this time rakes Daniel Bryan in the eye. And then Randy sets up Bryan on the top turnbuckle. Actually, before he does that, he hits Daniel Bryan with the chair a couple times, covers him, Daniel Bryan kicks out, hits him one more time, Daniel Bryan kicks out. And then Orton decides he puts all the steel chairs like in a circle. So pretty much puts them on top of each other, like I said, in a circle. He sets Daniel Bryan up on the top turnbuckle, and pretty much from there, I kind of assumed what was going to happen. He goes for a top rope superplex, and he hits it, but the thing is, from what I saw, only Daniel Bryan's legs hit the steel chairs, not his back. He covers Daniel Bryan, and at this point, I think is when Triple H came down, because Daniel Bryan kicked out. And he goes like next to the cell and tells Shawn Michaels, "Come on, Shawn, do your job." Whatever, I guess he was trying to say that was a 3 count or something like that. And he was yelling at Shawn Michaels. So Shawn Michaels gets out of the ring, and he's yelling with Triple H on the in between the ring and in between the cell, all while Daniel Bryan and Randy are going at it in the ring. And then at some point, Randy, I think he hits an exploder suplex, I believe, on Daniel Bryan, or some sort of move. And he covers Daniel Bryan, and Shawn Michaels is still arguing with Triple H. So Triple H tells Shawn Michaels, "Come on, go to the ring, count the count." And then Randy gets mad, so he lets go of Daniel Bryan, starts yelling at Shawn Michaels. So now it's Shawn Michaels, Randy, and Triple H. They're all arguing with each other. Well, actually, it's just Randy and Triple H yelling at Shawn Michaels in between the ring and the cell. And then I believe Shawn Michaels and Randy, they both got back in the ring. And shortly afterwards, Daniel Bryan locks on the yes lock. But Randy got out of it. And that was one of the times where, Randy got out of the yes lock. And Randy then hit the second rope DDT on Daniel Bryan. He then went for the RKO, but Daniel Bryan countered it and pushed Randy onto Shawn Michaels, so Shawn Michaels gets taken down. And then Triple H, he grabs one of the doctors, and they try and go inside the cell. And then Daniel Bryan, he hits actually the running knee on Randy, but Shawn Michaels is down, so he covers Randy, and the crowd is actually counting with Daniel Bryan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over a 3 count. And then Daniel Bryan realizes that, Shawn Michaels is down. So he goes to check on Shawn Michaels, tells Shawn Michaels, come on. He grabs him and tells, come on, Shawn Michaels, count or whatever. And then Triple H gets inside the cell. He grabs Daniel Bryan, throws him away, and checks on Shawn Michaels. And then Daniel Bryan, all while Daniel Bryan now is in the corner, and he's preparing for the running high knee. He's preparing to hit it on Triple H. Triple H turns around. Daniel Bryan hits him with the running knee. And then Shawn Michaels slowly got back up. And Daniel Bryan had his back turned at this point. And Shawn Michaels, you could see he was preparing for Sweet Chin music. You can always see he's preparing for it when he's, he's sideways and facing you. And Daniel Bryan turns around. Shawn Michaels hits Sweet Chin music, but he kind of missed it. He missed Sweet Chin music. From what I saw, he hit Daniel Bryan's arm or something. I'm not sure, but anyways, he hit Sweet Chin music on Daniel Bryan, and then Randy covers Daniel Bryan. Shawn Michaels kind of looks like, he's hesitating a little bit, but then he goes down and counts 1, 2, 3, and Randy Orton wins. So, new WWE champion, Randy Orton. Cell gets taken up, or, rises up, and Shawn Michaels just leaves the ring looking disappointed and walks up the ramp, while Triple H, he gets up, and pretty much he celebrates with Randy, and that was it for the show. So, what did I think about the show? Highlights. First off, highlights. Triple threat tag team matchup. First matchup on the show was probably the best matchup on the show. Once again, great tag team matchup there. Loved the superplex spot onto everybody else. Also liked the top rope body splash on top of Cody while he was trying to pin Seth Rollins to break up the pin. Also a 6 spear in the matchup by Roman Reigns. And also John Cena versus Del Rio. I like the matchup. And for a kickoff match, also Damien Sandow versus Kofi wasn't a bad match either. Lots of action in that matchup, right from the beginning. What else? Divas matchup, and what else was there? Oh yeah, Kane's return. I'm happy for that. I'm a fan of Kane, so we'll see where that goes. Probably. Maybe a matchup teaming up. No, I don't think I was gonna say teaming up with The Miz, but he just chokeslammed them. So, maybe Kane and Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus the Wyatt family. Who knows? Well, actually, first off, I think Kane would probably want to go after Bray Wyatt first. So I don't know, but yeah. And the main event, also CM Punk versus Ryback. Yeah, CM Punk, Ryback, and Heyman. I was real happy when CM Punk finally got his hands on Paul Heyman. I was hoping the feud would end at Hell in a Cell, and it seems like, it is ending. It's over. But I will say I can still see a Team Paul Heyman versus Team CM Punk match at Survivor Series. And I was real happy when he got his hands on Paul Heyman. One of the cooler moments on the show there when he climbed up the cell, started beating up Paul Heyman and hit the go to sleep on him. And as far as the main event goes, it was a decent main event. But as far as the match of the night, definitely the first match. The first match of the actual, not the kickoff match, but the triple threat tag team matchup. So anyways, that's pretty much it for my review. Also, I can't forget a score for the show. I would give it an 8 on 10. I thought it was better than Battleground, and yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, you can click that like button down below. And in the comment section, tell me which match you liked the most, and what's your rating for Hell in a Cell. With that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.